Good day to all present, and to our Honorable U.S. Ambassador to Guyana, Mr. Brett Hart, our conference chairperson, Mr. Anand Budram, and our moderator, Dr. Faith Harding. A special thanks to Ms. Diane Madre for all her efforts. Unfortunately, we could not attend today's meeting due to unforeseen financial constraints. I am Public Relations Officer Mr. Ryan Merritt of the Silver Lining Foundation, and this is our story. On a warm afternoon in February, 5 young individuals sat on a park bench at the University of the West Indies, both motivated and afraid of the darkness wielded in the journey they wanted to embark on, afraid for themselves, afraid for the people they loved, and afraid that they may fail the people who needed them the most. The idea of gathering a group of people inspired to make a difference by the stories of those who have lived in despair whispered the doubtful sayings of easier said than done. It seemed far-fetched, even impossible, but herein lies the story of a group who in just 5 months have accomplished what many have tried and failed. The foundation was founded in response to the need for appropriate facilities aimed at counseling and educating the LGBT youth of Trinidad and Tobago, and addressing the challenges faced by the youth members of the LGBT community. Yes, this was the motivation that drove those individuals to send an SOS to other diligent youth who soon joined the foundation. And like every great story, the Silver Lining Foundation is dedicated to continue towards the happy ending. On August 24th, as we hit our 6th month in existence, we can boast of a few accomplishments that have propelled the motivation that had sparked the very idea of the foundation from its onset. On April 20th to 2012, the Silver Lining Foundation hosted a Day of Silence event at St. Augustine campus of the University of the West Indies. Also in attendance were CAISO members, Colin Robinson, and the UE Gender Students Development representative, Gabrielle Hossain. Although a novice at both event hosting and foundation leadership, it was reported a grand success by the foundation's director, Jeremy Edwards. The newspaper articles, blog posts, and numerous personal messages poured in for weeks. Globewriter's weblog and online blogger reported 2012 will go down as an interesting year for us with this inspiring project by the Silver Lining Foundation. The Day of Silence was a student-led silent protest against bullying, harassment, and discrimination faced by members of the LGBT community in schools. Produced by our very own project manager, Isaiah Alexander, the following is a video documentary of the Day of Silence event.
Life's too short to even carry on. I'm losing my mind, losing my mind, losing control. These fishes in the sea, they're staring at me. A wet world aches for a beat of a drum. If I could find a way to see this zero now. Whoa, whoa.
Nestled beneath the beauty of the islands of the Caribbean is a deep-seated problem. Youth persons of the society are taught that being different is something that must be changed or corrected, a sort of moral deformity, punishable by a slap on the wrist with the rules of the norm. No two people are exactly alike, and yet many of these are persecuted because of perceived sexual orientation, particularly young people who do not fit in to the heteronormative patterns of society undergo unnecessary penance. They are square pegs in round holes, an outcast to the perfect picture that cannot be made framed without a conformity for what we consider the normal behavior. Is this truly fair? A brief release by colleague Brandon Kalan, who is currently conducting research on affected LGBT youth in Trinidad, stated, and I quote, "There have been alarming trends that exist in local education institutions that are physically threatening or reduce the human dignity of a person by publicly and openly expressing prejudice, malicious intent, or coercive measures of control of said person." End quote. How can we as a society help such persons who are affected by violence when that is just a symptom of the disease? The problem is not only that people are persecuted, it is that this mentality of tongue lashing against perceived moral deformity is carried forth from generation to generation. And even with verbal confirmation, societal conformity towards acts of physical, verbal, and emotional violence against LGBT persons persists. Kalan's release also reveals, quote, "Few secondary schools leading in figures have also openly partaken in scrutinizing and dehumanizing suspected peoples in public audience through acts of mockery and humiliation." End quote. It is seen as something they deserve, something to put to the side, or something to be outright ignored. What drives us to outcast persons if they don't fall into a certain category? Why do we lose our humanity and compassion when persons do not fit in our ideal image? Are we not all human? What makes us lash out against each other in a way to destroy the qualities that separate us from these? This problem, of which one might call a clash of opposing mentalities, must be addressed with immediate urgency. It is with this stance that the Silver Lining Foundation aspires to solve this problem through the unification of the mentalities between the young and the old within society. We may not have all the answers to achieve these aspirations, but we intend to find our best route to getting to a better tomorrow. And on this journey, we aim to be a holistic family unit that deals with any of all of these issues facing those who do not fall under the hetero umbrella. Those who are posed for norm conformity satisfaction will find a home. When we push ourselves to be the best that we can be, it is then that we find ourselves fighting the darkness and no longer embracing it. We want to show them that we have made it all this way, and through trials and tribulations, if we can make it, so can they. We are here to tell people that there are true silver linings in their lives. No matter the pressure that they face, we can all survive and make ourselves better. That innate ability to be a better ourselves, that innate ability to better ourselves and keep getting stronger is what solidifies us as human beings. Yeah. As long as we can imagine ourselves in a better place, it is not impossible. The members of the Silver Lining Foundation know what it is like to creep before walking, to toil before reaping, to have an idea of inspiration to inspire a population, and fulfill it with every ounce of our very being. Every member of our foundation has a story, a unique tale of a silver lining lost but now found. When we as a group accept other people, the little light we give to them is added to ours, so that we may continue to give light to others in need, and so that they themselves can do the same. As I close, let's take a moment to make a promise to ourselves, to go out and become the silver lining in our own lives, to show people who say otherwise that we can do it, and then others will come to respect and admire us. They will flock to us, and we can in turn motivate them to do the best that they can. Within our geographical confines of our society, we are much more than a group of people haphazardly living in a repetitive routine. Helping the world is not only about helping society in general. And at the end of the day, we must rely on the man on our right and on our left, as they rely on us. The Silver Lining Foundation strives to make this future a reality. What we need is a reality where youths who are different and not only fortified with the equal opportunities signed on a piece of paper, but are also embraced as a part of the societal mentality. Not just advocacy, not just a change, but a total acceptance without contempt. I thank you for your attention, and I wish you all a very blessed